It's going to be really important that SPACs are providing information and transparency into how they're structured so investors have that visibility. Our markets, and one of the things that make our markets so strong here in the United States, is we do provide transparency and disclosures that lead to stronger investor protections. And so that's where we're going to see some advancement in the SPAC space as they become such a popular way to go public. Who would have guessed that in 2020, it was going to be the record year for raising capital in the U.S. markets? I mean, we blew away prior years. And in 2021, we've already surpassed the amount of capital raised in 2020. And a lot of that was driven by SPACs. So it makes a lot of sense for the SEC to look at whether or not there are additional protections and additional disclosures that might be appropriate in this market.
And I've seen reports that this summer we're going to see a lot of, I believe, IPOs.
We are. We're seeing, companies are going public all three of those ways. So we have direct listings that have come to market over recent months, and we have more in the pipeline. We have IPOs on both sides, and we have SPACs on both sides. So we're continuing to see companies tap into the public markets. And I think there are a few different things contributing to that pace and that trend. One, if you rewind a year, it was very clear that the public markets are much more efficient than the private markets in the midst of the pandemic. When the going got tough, the public markets were still here for investors to be able to raise capital. They got a little bit more expensive in the private markets. Two, as markets and money was flowing, so there's been a lot of interest in providing that capital to growing companies. And companies also were seeing how well that new companies coming out to the public markets were being received by investors. So there's a little bit of you not wanting to miss out and whether or not that window might always be available. So companies who were thinking that they might want to go public in the next 2 or 3 years are thinking, well, maybe I'll do it now because conditions are so good. It's not too dissimilar from some of the trends we're seeing in the real estate market.